Welcome back to another installment of Dogfight Digest. Well, today we're flying in rain and fog. We're doing ILS's and TACAN navigation in bad weather. And why are we doing this? Well, because my milsim community likes to throw this kind of stuff at us. And because I'm not very good at it. So, today we're going to do some more practice. So first things first, we have to program a whole bunch of stuff. The plane's pretty much green. We're ready to go, minus a couple things. So first thing is our attitude indicator and our HSI are going to be important for this. Also, we've got our EGI on, our TACAN, and we will have our ILS on in a little bit as well. And so these are some of the buttons we're going to use, and I'll flip them over and tell you guys as we're doing them. What we're going to do is we're going to fly out of the airport. We're going to leave from Kubaletti. We're going to head up to Kotassi, so kind of a northwesterly flight, or northeasterly flight. And we're going to pick up the radial coming out of Kotassi. So TACANs is just kind of like a VOR, but a military version. There's a whole bunch of radials that come out of here in 365 degrees. So you can program in your runway radial, and then which comes straight out this way, kind of like, can I do it? Oh, well, let me do it. Anyway, comes straight out of here. And what you'll do is your HSI, it'll kind of point you in the direction, and as soon as you get to it, you'll just turn onto it and then follow it in until you pick up your ILS and then land. And that's what this little line represents here on the HSI. So we'll talk about more of that when we get going. But so what we need to program in is the ILS for Kotassi, which is 109.75. which we do over here. So we're going to turn it on. Then 109, you just use your mouse wheel button. 0.75. And then we need the TACAN is 44 X-ray for Kotassi. So we come over here and we make sure that we're on transmit receive. 44 X-ray. Now that's ready to go. Since we're flying in the dark, well, not the dark, but it sure feels like it. We can turn up a bunch of our lights in the cockpit, so we can see things a little better. Hey, we got a little bit of lights. So now we're pretty much ready to go. So let's get the wheel chocks off.
Chief, remove the wheel chocks.
Copy. Wheel chocks are now removed.
Alright. So, we got a couple things going for us. Not only do we have the ILS programmed in, and the TACAN, which is currently spinning because we're not in the air, so it's not picking it up. But we also have programmed into our HUD and our CDU, our nav, Kotassi Airport, right, which is a waypoint over there, you can see. So that'll help us for a general reference for where we're going. But let's get ourselves into the air here. This out of the way. Kubaletti traffic, Tusk 11, taxiing to runway 07.
Field 1, Kubaletti, clear to taxi to runway 7.
We're not Enfield 11, even though the game wants us to be. We're Tusk 11. So in the mission parameters, I tried to make the fog a little more visible, so when we come in for a landing, you can see maybe 500 feet and down, but wasn't quite able to get it like that, so that's gonna be pretty much no vis until we're 200 feet from the runway, which should prove challenging. So we're only 32 miles, you can see here, from Katasi. So kind of a short flight. We'll climb to 2,000, and we'll just kind of hang there. There's no real sense. That way we're stuck in the storm. The whole key here, and the main focus, is learning to trust your instruments. And the fine motor skills needed to kind of keep the heading bugs and the ILS bugs where they need to be, because it really is fine motor skills. Just fine movements.
Field 1, unable to clear for takeoff. Field 1, Cobra ready. You are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 29.86.
Kobuleti traffic, Tusk 11, taking off of runway 07, climbing straight out 2,000. Alright, so we got our ILS on, we got our TACAN on. We can also turn that on. And then we're going to plug in 074 into here, which is the exact course off the approach template for the airport that we're coming into. So it's runway 07, so it's obviously 07 degrees. But 74 is the exact, number. And there's, approach plates all over the place where you can find that information. All right, so we got a green jet. We're ready for takeoff. Let's run up. Thrusters. Brakes on and release. Good for airspeed alive. Which it is. Steer point off. Nose steering off. For 150 for takeoff. You could probably take off at 130 because we're so light. But we'll do 150. B1 and rotate. Oh yeah, it's raining. Gear up, flaps up. Climb up to 2,000. Oh, you just saw that. The HSI just moved. So we're getting a little off level. Lose level. So I can't see anything outside. So we're flying all off our instruments. 2,000. Out of it a little bit. Still can't see a darn thing. Alright, so we got 25 miles. We're going into 07 here. This is set up. X, right? Let's double check. Yeah, we're kind of flying towards it. That capacity is 44 X-ray, which it is. See, here's you click on it. The airport information. Runway 7 and 25. The ILS is only on this side. See, there's nothing under runway 25. So the 109.75 is only for runway 7, which is the runway that we're going to come into. 07. And we're going to try to land. Honestly, I need to do a more northeastern pattern here. Close down. Trim the aircraft. Bank. We got so we're still gonna go straight north. Alright, see now our HSI just bugged out. Meaning it kicked over. It was telling us we gotta go north to pick up the track. So we're at 1900 feet, we're watching all of our instruments. We're gonna head at 90 degrees towards it. Bank.
Altitude.
Oh, Jesus. See, I wasn't paying attention to altitude.
Warning, autopilot.
Actually, I was, but that was a hill. That was a mountain at 1,800 feet. See the... let's get back in there. Ooh, that was close. First of all, let's slow down. Second of all, let's get back down to 2,000. That was a mountain that was 1,850 feet that I forgot about. So that was a little scary. 4,039. Down to 2,000. Alright, so we already missed our point. If you look down here, we missed our HSI. So we're going to have to look around in order to pick it back up. See how we're ahead of Catastrophe now? So we'll do a right-hand bank or a left-hand bank and come back to pick it up. So here's the tricky thing is staying, for me at least, staying level in a rainstorm when you can't see at 2,000 feet and doing a nice turn. Alright, so we're watching the HSI, we're getting slow, let's add some power back. Like 200. it and go more like a 45 to the line, because we're going to pick it up real quick as we're close to it. See how it's starting? Yeah, not yet. So looking down there, remember on the HSI. Picked up our ILS already. Let's level off towards it. We're going to slow way down. There comes our line. Turn, 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 turn on the HSI. Try to keep our... and turn back. Almost perfect. We overshot it a little bit. Following the ILS on the attitude indicator. We're trying to keep it on the X. We're at 800. We're a little slow. To the right.
Altitude, altitude.
Add some power. Just to get us up to like 130. We should be coming into it anytime. So we're off the runway, it's to our left. So technically that would be a go around. See, here's our runway. But I can't freaking see it. So we're gonna land on it. But we're probably not gonna be able to stop. So let's do a go around. That was the runway. Pull up, pull up. See how hard that is? I can't be the only one. So we're at about 1100. Let's level off there. Now we're just going to remote the UE. And we're going to follow our TACAN, which is on the HSI, back around and do a reverse flight. Reverse path, so to speak. Fly back just a couple miles. We'll come back around. See if I can get more lined up. don't know, I guess for me this is one of the more difficult things. You know, because when you can see the runway, you can correct. And here you're really having to trust your equipment to tell you you're right on. And right there I thought I was pretty right on, and I was still 100 feet to the right of the runway. Alright, we're about halfway there. Trim the aircraft a little bit here. Make it easier on myself. Alright, that should be good enough. We're going to look around. Fast and we're a little bit off track. Just need to come to the right, just a hair. Watch that line come in. Line's coming in. Turn left. There, that should be your runway header. I'm a little low. Alright, so now we follow the ILS. We need to go left a little. We need to come up. Slow down just a hair. Gear's already down. I'm going to go flaps 10. Up and to the right. Let's do 900. Speed 117. More speed, more speed, more speed so we don't stall. On the X, on the X. X is going down, we go down. X is going down and to the left. Down and to the left. X is almost down, we're at 200 feet. We need to go down. We're at 100 feet. Any moment. You don't crash into it. Probably right over the runway and I can't see it. And we're at 900. There's our runway. We're way too fast. Missed approach again. I wasn't paying attention. Alright, we're at 1,000. Let's hang out about there. Our speed back up to about 150. Might have been a good approach if I had better situational awareness. I was a little off to the left, but I probably could have corrected. Alright, flying the back radio. Situational awareness. We are 1,200 feet. We're right next to the airport. Coming around. Struggle bus is real. Now what are we doing? 200? Just slow down. Slow down in our turn too. That's far enough. In theory. Let's flip around.
Altitude.
We're at 500. Let's stay up. Wait a little bit. And we're on. At 500. We're on. Waiting for to pick up. We're at 500. We're on. We're at a good speed. Donut's good. Good speed. 500. We're on. Right a little bit. We're on. Donut. Coming down to 300. We're 0.3 miles out. Donut. 300 feet. Pull up. We don't hit a tree. I don't know about this whole thing. ILS isn't picking up. I don't know why. Speed. 100 feet. We're just gonna land here. There's our runway. Flew up. No, that was a road. Well, now you guys get how to do it, but I couldn't make it land. See if I can fix some stuff. Maybe make it so that there's a higher ground clearance on the fog. That's rough. That is rough. Tough to do. That's why we're practicing. So here's a mission editor again, where we can adjust the parameters. I just don't know how to make the clouds so they're not as, so the visibility is better. 500 feet visibility. That's decent. Less. Let's save that. See if we can see better when we go into our flight. That's 40 minutes. You guys get the gist. I wish I could have landed it for y'all. Let's see if I can do another one and before I upload this and record it. You can see a little better. Let's adjust the fog some more. Visibility, let's make it 1,000 feet. Put our thickness down a little more. That's a little better. I'm gonna try it again. I'll probably skip forward to the end when I actually land it though, so you guys can see. 109.75.
Remove the wheel chocks.
Copy. Wheel chocks are now removed.
fly over this up again. Well, there's more fogging right now. All right, so to get the long final, we're going to want to hang a left. Northward position. All right, we should be picking it up any second. Alright, we got the ILS already. So ILS is telling us slow down and keep the ball, keep little tip of the wings in the attitude indicator. notice I'm not even looking outside the cockpit. Because it makes no sense to watch your attitude indicator. It's going to tell you where you need to be. Obviously, I need a little bit more speed. The runway, got it. We're gonna be halfway down, but it's okay. Got it. That's all that matters. Brakes, 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 big flaps. So that got me pretty close. I wasn't as perfect on the landing. I'm getting the, like we're looking down here, right? So on lining up this little tip of the wings with wherever this X meets. But because the Viz was just slightly better on that run, I was able to pick up the runway when we were close and then correct and land. So there you go. That's how it's done. Not perfect. Probably still should have done a go around, but I landed it, so better. Alright everybody, thanks for watching. This is Dogfight Digest.